Hi everyone, so we've got the results of the latest poll and we had 76% say yes, errors in SPCs can fall under the scope of ABPI code, and the remainder obviously no. Now the case we're going to be looking at today for this is 3871124 with AbbVie, and this involved a missing hyphen on the SPC that was held on their EMC, and that meant that the meaning around dosing changed from being what was intended as days 1 to 7 but read as day 17, and the complaint was made about that. The regulatory SPC on the MHRA website was correctly written. Now, AbbVie in this said that this case was not actually in scope of the PMCP code at all, because clauses 1.1 and 117 and their supplementary information say that SPCs are not considered as promotional. It's covered by regulations instead, and therefore it's not in scope. But this is an incorrect interpretation of what the code says. Now, for a start, just being not promotional does not mean that it's not in scope, because we know that many non-promotional things do fall under the scope of the ABPI code and PMCPA jurisdiction. And we know this particularly because in the clauses AbbVie referenced, it does say also that if an SPC is used in a promotional manner, it will become a promotional item. So, as the panel said in this case, whilst the complaints about the content of an SPC as approved by regulators is not in scope of their jurisdiction or the code, the use of an SPC by a pharmaceutical company can be. And we of course know that EMC is very often used as a landing page, for example, to provide prescribing information. There is also a previous case, 3042618, involving Otsuka, and that was about them updating, or in this case not updating, their SPCs on the EMC. So this very clearly shows that SPCs are in scope if you're using them beyond the regulatory SPC just held on the MHRA site. So in this case, there was indeed found to be a breach of clause 5.1 because high standards had not been upheld. So on this occasion, 76% of you were correct. SPCs can fall under the scope of the code depending on if you are using them in certain ways. And if you're going to have it on the EMC, be sure that it's correct, because it will fall in scope. As usual, let me know if there's anything else you want to discuss in the comments below.